In the heart of a small village in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, there lived a 12-year-old girl named Bright Sunday. A girl whose name promised hope, joy, and warmth, but her life had been anything but that. For too long, harrowing years, Bright had been locked away, hidden from the world in the shadows of a crumbling building. Her crime? She had been accused of being a witch. But how could this happen to a child? What led her father, Ndifrik Sunday, and her 28-year-old stepmother, Victory, to commit such a cruel act? What did they believe they saw in this innocent girl that made them turn against her? The answers to these questions would soon shake their village, and beyond, to its core. The operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, acting on a tip, uncovered a nightmare beyond imagination. Bright, frail and trembling, was rescued from the clutches of her tormentors, her father and stepmother, who had kept her imprisoned in a dilapidated room. When confronted, they admitted something chilling: they believed Bright was a witch. They claimed that she had confessed to being responsible for all of her father's misfortunes, his afflictions. In their minds, she was the cause of all their troubles. But was this really true? Was this confession the truth, or was it simply the desperate words of a child forced to say anything to escape the beatings, the hunger, the torment? When Bright was freed, the full horror of her suffering came to light. For 2 long years, she had been denied the basic things every child deserves: food, education, even the simple dignity of bathing. Her stepmother fed her only once every 2 days, allowed her to bathe no more than twice a month, and worse still, beat her constantly. Bright was trapped in a cycle of fear, neglect, and brutal punishment, all for something she could never control. As Bright stood before newsmen, her voice soft but steady, she shared her unimaginable ordeal. Her words, though few, carried the weight of years of suffering.
They locked me in that room. They beat me. I didn't have food or water. I bathed only twice a month.
They said I was a witch. But despite the horror, Bright stood strong. There was something about her, something that refused to break, no matter how much she had endured. How did she survive this? How did a child, barely more than a whisper of herself, find the strength to keep going? The villagers, the world, and even her captors couldn't understand how she managed to stay alive, let alone still have a spark of life in her eyes. The question hung in the air like a mystery waiting to be solved. How did Bright, in the face of 2 years of unimaginable torment, hold on to hope? As the investigation unfolded, the community and the authorities dug deeper into the dark truths behind Bright's imprisonment. The real mystery, however, lay not in her confession, but in the strength she summoned to endure such suffering and the hope that kept her alive despite everything. Bright's rescue was just the beginning. Her story, now coming to light, was a beacon of courage and survival in the darkest of circumstances. But the question remains, what would become of those who inflicted this cruelty? Will justice finally be served? And what lies ahead for Bright as she begins to rebuild her shattered life? Stay with me as we follow this incredible journey, a story of survival, mystery, and, ultimately, the fight for justice.